Formal, informal invitations and replies. In this module, you will learn to draft formal and informal invitations and replies to invitations. What do you do on any significant occasion in your life? Do you go into solitary confinement or spend the day with your near and dear ones? You surely invite your friends, relatives, and close acquaintances and celebrate such life events with them. This is because man is gregarious by nature and cannot be alone. Also, extending invitations to friends and relatives on special occasions is considered a part of social etiquette. Do you know what invitations are? An invitation is a spoken or written request for someone's presence or participation in the celebration of a special occasion. Making people a part of our joys and sorrows helps to build community support. We invite people on numerous occasions. On events like birthdays, engagements, weddings, wedding anniversaries, festivals, housewarming parties, or family get-togethers, we invite them to our homes. At school too, we have various functions like annual day, sports day, religious and national festivals, prize distribution function, etc., for which we need to send invite requests to audience or other people. How do you invite people to these occasions? You may call them up or send them emails, invitation letters, or specially designed invitation cards. Invitations may be classified into two broad categories, formal and informal. A formal invitation is sent on formal occasions and to people whom you may not always know personally. An informal invitation is sent to people whom you know personally and who are closely related to you. Let us first look at formal invitation in detail. A formal invitation is sent on formal occasions to people whom you do not always know personally. Birthdays, engagements, weddings, wedding anniversaries, funerals, death anniversaries are some examples of formal occasions. A formal invitation may be in the form of an invitation card, a formal note, or a letter. Given below are some features of a formal invitation. It follows a conventional pattern. It is written in the third person. The time, date, and place of the event are clearly stated. The important names are highlighted using capital letters, decorative font, or different font color. Simple present tense is used throughout. The language used is formal. The entire text of the invitation is a single sentence. However, this single sentence is broken up in such a way that each important piece of information is given a line of its own. There is no signature. The date of writing is not given. At the end is the RSVP followed by the contact number and address of the host. RSVP is a process for a response from the invited person. It is an acronym for the French phrase "Répondez s'il vous plaît," meaning please respond, or literally reply if you please. We shall now learn about the format of a formal invitation. First comes the name or names of the host or hosts. Then follows the standard expression. For example, solicit your gracious presence. Request the pleasure of your company. Request your benign presence. Cordially invite you to. Cordially request the honor of your presence. Seek the pleasure of your company or presence. Then we mention the purpose of the invitation or occasion. name of the honoree, for example, the birthday person, bride or groom, etc. After this, the day, date, and time of the party, function or program is mentioned. Venue, the place or location with complete address. RSVP followed by the contact details like phone numbers, email ID or address of the host. Let us now look at a sample formal invitation for a better understanding of the format. Mrs. and Mr. V.K. Sinha have drafted the following formal invitation card to be sent to their friends and relatives on the occasion of their son's marriage. Let us now look at their invitation card. We first see the names of the hosts, Mr. and Mrs. V.K. Sinha. Next follows the standard expression, cordially invite you with family. Then we mention the occasion or the purpose for which the invitation is sent. On the occasion of the wedding of their son, this is followed by the names of the honorees, the groom and the bride with her lineage. Ravinder with Nalini, daughter of Mrs. and Mr. K.R. Nagpal, Shivaji Park, Agra. After this come the day, date, time and venue for the wedding and the reception. On Saturday, 17th June 2018, between 10:45 and 11:30 am at the bride's residence, followed by a reception on the same day between 4 and 7 pm at their residence, SU 86, Pitampura, Delhi. At the end comes the RSVP, which is followed by the contact details of the host. RSVP Sagar Sinha 98965745XX, Juhi Sinha 85670632XX, sagar_sinha@gmail.com. Let us now look at another sample formal invitation. Manoj Malhotra, the secretary of the Literary Club of St. Anne's School, Ahmedabad, has drafted a formal invitation for the inauguration of the club in his school. Let us look at the invitation drafted by him. St. Anne's School, Ahmedabad, Literary Club. The staff and students of St. Anne's School cordially invite you to the inaugural ceremony of its literary club. The event will take place in the school hall at 11:45 am on 14 September 2018. The city mayor, Dr. Vipul Kapoor, has kindly consented to grace the occasion. Manoj Malhotra, Secretary. Let us now look at informal invitations in detail. An informal invitation is sent to people whom you know personally. It is less formal. Therefore, simple, direct, and informal language is used. The tone is casual and seriousness is usually avoided. Such invitations follow the format of an informal letter. Here is a sample informal invitation. Suman has cleared the pre-medical or pre-dental entrance examination. The family is elated at the achievement and decides to have a get-together for family members and close friends. Mr. Nikhil Verma, Suman's father, has drafted an informal invitation for the get-together. This is how his invitation reads. 45 Bailey Road, Bahadurgarh, 16th June 2018. Dear, followed by name. You will be glad to know that my daughter Suman has come out successful in the pre-medical entrance examination held this year in the month of April. It is a matter of great joy and pride for our family. We have decided to have a get-together to share this joy with our near and dear ones. The get-together will be held at Maharaja Banquet Hall at 8 p.m. on Sunday, the 25th of June. You are requested to grace the occasion and give your blessings and good wishes to Suman. Yours sincerely, Nikhil Verma. Now, let us look at another sample of an informal invitation. On the occasion of Arnab's birthday, his parents, Mrs. and Mr. Gidwani, have drafted an informal invitation to be sent to all their friends and relatives. Let us look at this invitation. 117 Model Town, Vishnupuram, 14th March 2018. Dear, followed by name, our son Arnab is turning 10 on the 28th of this month. We are holding a grand celebration on the occasion and would be very pleased if you join us. The party will be held at Community Hall, Model Town at 7 p.m. on Saturday, the 28th of March. You are requested to join us for the occasion and give your blessings to Arnab. Yours sincerely, Mrs. and Mr. Gidwani. Just like extending invitations, replying to invitations is also considered a part of social etiquette. Whether one chooses to accept the invitation or not, it is considered rude to not respond. Two kinds of replies are possible for an invitation: acceptance and refusal. One should keep the following points in mind while writing a reply to an invitation. Do not forget to acknowledge the invitation. Express thanks to the inviters. Maintain a proper tone and treatment throughout your reply. Clearly mention your acceptance or refusal. Make use of the third person to refer to yourself. Replies to formal invitation cards are written in the card format. Let us look again at Mrs. and Mr. V.K. Sinha's invitation. For this invitation, you may write either a formal reply of acceptance or a formal reply of regret or refusal. Let us look at the formal reply of acceptance first. Mrs. and Mr. S.K. Dabral have written a formal reply accepting Mrs. and Mr. V.K. Sinha's invitation. Let us look at their reply. Mrs. and Mr. S.K. Dabral thank Mrs. and Mr. V.K. Sinha for their kind invitation to their son's wedding and reception on the 17th of June. They have great pleasure in accepting the invitation. Railway Road, Panipat, 17th May 2018. This invitation follows a set formal pattern. It first expresses gratitude for the invitation and then politely accepts the invitation. The use of expressions like kind invitation and great pleasure add to the formal tone that has been used. Let us now look at a formal reply of regret or refusal to the same invitation. Mrs. and Mr. M.S. Chauhan have written a formal reply to Mrs. and Mr. V.K. Sinha regretting their inability to attend their son's wedding and reception ceremony due to a prior engagement. Let us look at the reply. Mrs. and Mr. M.S. Chauhan thank Mrs. and Mr. V.K. Sinha for their kind invitation to their son's wedding on the 17th of June, but regret that they will be unable to attend it as their daughter is leaving for England the same day. They wish the bride and bridegroom a long and prosperous married life. Pratap Road, Ghaziabad, 25th May 2018. Notice that this reply of regret or refusal also expresses gratitude for the invitation. Further, the refusal has been expressed very politely. Despite not accepting the invitation, the tone of refusal is as polite as that of reply of acceptance. The reason for the inability to attend the wedding has also been mentioned. Let us now learn about replies to informal invitations. Replies to informal invitations are written in letter format just like the informal invitation itself. The language used is informal with short and direct sentences. Now, we shall discuss how to reply to an informal invitation. Let us look at Mrs. and Mr. Gidwani's invitation. Manoj has drafted an informal reply accepting the invitation from Mrs. and Mr. Gidwani. Now, Let us look at his reply. 156 Amirpur, Vishnupuram, 18th March 2017. Dear Mrs. and Mr. Gidwani, I have received your invitation regarding the birthday celebration of your son on the 28th of this month. I shall certainly be present on this wonderful occasion. Besides, by that time, my daughter's exams would also be over, and there would be no problem in attending the celebration. Yours truly, Manoj. Let us now look at an informal reply of regret or refusal to the same invitation. Latika has drafted an informal reply expressing her inability to attend the celebration of Mrs. and Mr. Gidwani's son's birthday. 44 MG Road, Vishnupuram, 18th March 2017. Dear Mrs. and Mr. Gidwani, I have received the invitation for your son's birthday celebration on the 28th of this month. I regret to inform you that I shall not be able to attend the party. As you know, my son is in class 12 and his board exams are going on. His economics exam is scheduled to be held on the 29th of this month. Therefore, we would not be able to join you for the celebration. My blessings and good wishes to Arnab. Yours sincerely, Latika. Let's practice. On 30th November, your school is going to hold its annual sports day. You want Mr. Dhanraj Pillai, a noted hockey player, to give away the prizes to the budding sportspersons of the school. Write a formal invitation in about 50 words requesting him to grace the occasion. You are Karuna or Karan, Sports Secretary, Sunrise Global School, Agra. You are Mohan or Molly. You have been invited by the Lions Club to act as one of the judges for a fancy dress competition for children. But due to a previous engagement, you cannot accept this invitation. Write a formal reply to the president of the club regretting your inability to accept the invitation. You are Mukesh or Malini of 45 DP Road, Jalandhar. Write an informal invitation to your friend Rohan, inviting him to attend your daughter's wedding ceremony. You are Akshay or Akriti. You have been invited to participate in a seminar on fundamental rights of children organized by the Lions Club of your district. Write an informal reply of acceptance to the secretary of the club. Let's recap. An invitation is a spoken or written request for someone's presence or participation in the celebration of a special occasion. Invitations are classified into two broad categories, formal and informal. A formal invitation is sent on formal occasions to people whom you may not always know personally. An informal invitation is sent to people whom you know personally. It is less formal. Therefore, simple, direct, and informal language is used. The tone is casual and seriousness is usually avoided. Two kinds of replies are possible for an invitation: acceptance and refusal. Replies to formal invitation cards are written in the card format. Replies to informal invitations are written in letter format, just like the informal invitation itself. Thank you.